It's grueling, it's challenging, it's hard.
Where are the smiles this morning?
Both of our dreams come true, but like, can we even start tomorrow?
So now it really gets real.
If you're winning, it's always easy.
I freaking love this bike race.
We also go through a lot of dark moments, but it's just about keeping the wheels turning.
The Absa Cape Epic is the most prestigious mountain bike stage race in the world, and it's a challenge like no other. Situated in the spectacular Western Cape of South Africa, this 8-day stage race attracts world-class athletes and aspiring amateurs. They all ride the same bespoke course that changes annually. In its 19th edition, the teams of two will experience some of the finest mountain biking in the world. From rugged gravel trails to relentless climbs, to technical descents to manicured single tracks. Never has the race seen such high numbers in the CM.com women's category, and the competition between teams is fiercer than ever. This year's course starts in Mirandel for the prologue before moving to Hermanus for 2 stages and then a transition to Oak Valley Wines. Stage 4 is a time trial loop before a massive transitioning stage to Lawrenceford Wine Estate. There will be 1 stage out of the final race village before the grand finale finish in Val de Vie. The riders will cover 648 kilometers and climb almost 15,500 meters. Mirandel Wine Estate has been the proud host of the Cape Epic 7 previous times. However, this year the trails have evolved, and there are now 750 meters of climbing over the 27-kilometer prologue. The race will not be won or lost today, but their time will go towards the overall. Team eFort.net, Seattle Coffee Co. of Amy Wakefield and Candice Lill are a last-minute all-South African pairing.
We're not going to separate, we are one.
They are the strongest marathon riders in the country, with Wakefield passing the title to Lill just 2 weeks before this year's event. They have 9 Cape Epic finishes between them, but have never worn the leader's jersey. Wakefield and Lill work well together and cross the line to take third.
Yeah, we paced ourselves. Candice is so strong in this kind of effort, so I definitely battled a bit. But yeah, luckily I have such a supportive and kind partner. She kept me going throughout, and yeah, I think we had a very good day. Like the way I was feeling, I expected a bit more of a time gap, so I think we can be happy with our result.
Kim Lecourt and Vera from Efficient Infinity Insure are reigning national champions from Mauritius and Namibia respectively. They have recently won the Wines to Wales race together and have just 3 Absa Cape Epic finishes between them. They cross the line and take the second step of the podium.
I think we actually know each other so well. We just ride well together. There's not much to talk about or anything. We know what the other one feels and what the other one does. And also coming from the road, we have similar tactics in mind, so it actually works out quite well for us.
Defending champion, Sofia Gomez Villafane this year lines up with a legend of the sport, Katerina Nash. She has won World Cups and is one of the few athletes who has entered both the Summer and Winter Olympics. They ride for 91 Songo Specialized. Gomez Villafane and Nash crossed the line just under 1 hour and 19 minutes to take the win and sport the coveted orange zebra leaders jersey for stage 1.
Feels great. Every time you get on the podium is an exciting day for any athlete, and especially winning a bike race.
The riders move to the whale-watching town of Hermanus for the start of the race and will remain here for the first 3 days. Stage 1 is notoriously tough, and this year is no exception. At 98 kilometers, it is not the longest, but with 2,550 meters of climbing, it has the most vertical per kilometer. The leading teams stay in a bunch and start to get a measure of each other's strengths and weaknesses.
It's going to be a tough day out. I think there's a lot of typical Cape Epic terrain out there, some rocky climbs and descents. And yeah, I think a lot of the race is going to happen from midway to the end, so it's about just conserving and being smart with your race.
Disaster strikes Wakefield as she turns into the orchard. She hits a branch and tears a hole in her arm.
And I knew there was not blood gushing, so I was like, well, that means I can ride.
Yeah.
We just need to close it.
I saw her looking at her arm, and then the shock on her face when she looked at me, she was just, can't. And she looked at me like this, and she like opened it, but she didn't look again. I thought that it looked too bad to carry on, to be honest. Like, I was like, she needs to go into hospital right now. So I said, Ames, we can stop. Like, don't you want to stop?
Yeah.
And she was like, no, no. So you brought me a tiny piece of duct tape like this. I was like, Ames, I'm not gonna cut it.
Even with a duct-taped arm, Wakefield and Lill crossed the line in first, demonstrating their intentions. They take the orange leader's jersey from 91 Songo Specialized.
Yeah, I mean, I've pictured this crossing the line in first and being an orange during my dreams and in training, and I've never pictured that we pull it off in this way, honestly. I think such a setback halfway through, and we decided at that point we're going to push on, and it's very emotional that we pulled it off.
I'm starting to learn about our competition, which is great. It's get to know the riders around us. I definitely know a lot more about Sofia's style now, and yeah, we'll just kind of build up on that as we work as a team for the rest of the stages.
There are a further 7 stages to go, but it seems the strongest teams are Efficient Infinity Insure, 91 Songo Specialized, and eFort.net Seattle Coffee Co.
Hi, my name is Katerina Nash, and I'm racing with Sofia Gomez Villafane. It's really so different reading about it, watching the footage, and then actually racing it. She lied to me a little bit about the amount of single track. Like, it's a lot of mountain biking, and I feel like it's a lot of pedaling, honestly.
I mean, we've never actually quite talked about what the goals for the race were going to be. Obviously, I'm really competitive. She's also really competitive. So obviously, like, we're not showing up to a bike race just to participate.
So just having that bike experience that everybody else comes here for, you know, just experience a new country on 2 wheels and pushing your own personal limits for whatever reasons.
The thing about the Epic is that every day we want to win this race, you know, like you can't keep focusing on stuff that's happened. The race is so tough as it is, and you've got to really be focused 100% on the race and just looking forward and being in orange. You can't keep dwelling on stuff.
I've done 5, you've done 4. It's kind of weird because in the 5 epics that I've done, I've never been in orange once.
Yeah, same.
Not even like for a day or two. So
I didn't want a stage ever.
yeah, it's kind of like you just get used to other people being in orange all the time. I mean, that's what is nice about being in orange. Like, you can never get complacent, but you can control a lot of things because you don't have to make the racing.
Yeah.
But we are definitely shooting for the win.
Winning the Epic is just everything to us.
I asked him as a joke if she wanted to race with me, and she surprisingly jumped in. And then we did the Swiss Epic together, and we saw the partnership was working, so we also teamed up for the FNB Wine to Wales, and then we could win that, so it was the next step to do the Absa Cape Epic together.
What were your first impressions of each other?
She was French.
She was German.
Came into this, we knew we had a good chance at the podium, and we were hoping for maybe a stage win here and there.
We're quite new to this game. Obviously, I think everyone that comes to the Epic that prepares really well for it, I'm sure they have thoughts of winning the Epic. I mean, it's everyone's dream. When I was young, I used to watch the Epic with my parents and brother on TV, and we used to say, wow, these women and these guys are just phenomenal. We also do give each other some
hard times.
Yeah, but in a good way, in a sarcastic way, in a German and French way.
Stage 2 is the longest of this year's race. At 116 kilometers, the riders are in the saddle for almost 5.5 hours. Yesterday's podium teams are at the sharp end, setting the pace. It all comes down to the final few meters, with Lusa making a move and Lecourt sprinting through the rest of the pack to take their first victory.
So special to finish a stage and win a stage, not only a close sprint but a gap. yeah, it's super special, especially in this jersey. Obviously, we don't own the jersey, but we're wearing it, and we're proud to win under the African colours.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, we race together, and it's fun to cross the finish line together and raise our arms high, because we've been dreaming of this, so it's a dream come true.
The riders leave Hermanus for the last time on stage 3. It's another long stage at 100 kilometers, and most of the climbing is at the back end of the race. Even though Lecourt and Lucer won the stage yesterday, Wakefield and Lill are still in the orange leader's jersey. 2 hours and 45 minutes into the race, the cracks start to show in Vera Lucer. She is paying the price for yesterday's efforts.
It's a brutal stage. It's actually a beautiful mountain biking stage. A lot of single trail. But yeah, if you already have 2 times 5 hours of racing in your legs, it hurts. There are many easy ways to throw both on Hermanus, but we definitely didn't take that way. But yeah, for me it was a tough day out there. But luckily Kim was a good teammate pulling me through.
Wakefield and Lill drive the pace, with Gomez Villafane and Nash second in the overall. The orange leaders seem to be unstoppable today. Showing world-class skills, they eventually drop the 91 Songo specialized team.
Yeah, I mean, we started with the top 3 strong teams for the longest time, and I had fun like riding some of the single track and stuff, but I just couldn't hang on the uphills on the second half.
I don't know what it is. It's about the feeling of winning that just makes you fired up, and everything is just so much easier.
Crossing the line in just under 5 hours, efort.net Seattle Coffee Co. increased their lead to 8 minutes and 20 seconds on 91 Songo Specialized, and 19 minutes and 22 seconds to Efficient Infinity Insure.
The top 3 teams are all really strong, and there's been attacks, and it's been a very exciting race. Yeah, I was saying as well, my partner's unbelievable. She's just, I can't say how much. We're just such a good team, and she's such a great teammate. Like today, I just kind of sat on the train.
The riders live in each other's pockets for the whole week, but how well do they know each other?
It's funny because when I first met Amy, she was actually quite like a wild party animal.
What's her favourite colour?
What colour? Orange.
Good answer, good answer.
During the epic, probably be orange.
Pink.
Are you serious?
Just
Green.
a wild guess.
Green.
Blue.
No, it's actually purple.
I was saying purple, then I'm like, no, I can't say the same.
It depends. Alcohol, non-alcohol. Aperol.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
And wine, obviously.
She likes red wine.
Every morning when Sofia mixes her electrolyte drink, she gets really excited. So I think it's that.
Ooh, what's a glass of wine?
Yes.
Red wine.
Steak, being Argentinian.
I mean, steak is real good. How do I like my steak though?
It's medium rare-ish.
Medium well.
Medium well.
Sushi.
Pizza's better.
Cheese fondue.
No.
She likes climbs. She likes it when it's hard.
I would say it has to be very, very technical, like BC, British Columbia. True.
Who's the first ready in the morning?
Both. We're even.
We've been pretty synchronized.
We're both very competitive.
Who's the best at fixing mechanicals?
We don't have to deal with anything. We have really good equipment.
Who's got the best jokes?
I don't think we joke.
We haven't done much joking. Definitely not on the bike.
Yeah.
Stage 4 denotes the middle of the race, and it's time trial day. The teams will leave in reverse GC order with a 2-minute gap. They have 388 kilometers of intense racing in their legs, but this is an opportunity to sneak a few extra seconds on their competition. Wakefield and Lill do just that. Even with the 2-minute start gap, they see their closest rivals, Gomez Villafane and Nash, in their sights. They catch and overtake them. Efficient Infinity Insure have a fantastic day on the bikes, completing the 47 kilometers in just over 2 hours and 9 minutes. They win the time trial and leapfrog 91 Songo Specialized, going into second in the overall.
In October, we raced 112 on my birthday and we won the stage. So Kim said to me, Vera, listen, at Cape Epic, we also have to win the stage on my birthday, so there was quite a lot of pressure today.
The women's category has been awarded equal prize money since 2014. The Absa She Untamed initiative has increased participation, and we have female jerseys for all the age categories, from amateur to great grandmasters. Leading the amateurs this year are Exaro Academy ladies team. This academy has been created for historically disadvantaged South Africans under the age of 26.
Technically, we're riding for the Exaro jersey. And we ended up winning both jerseys for the amateur jersey and the Exaro.
We didn't expect to be competing for amateurs, but we put on a good challenge there.
We actually camping, and yesterday was the hardest day for everyone in the camp because we were swimming. Mother Nature was against us yesterday and the other time, but it's been quite nice to camp and just get out of the comfort zone.
So we take initially about 7 hours in the race, and then we pace up towards the end. We really communicate well. Even when we fight, we actually fight, but we still get to laugh at some point.
We just came here to win, to bring our best A game, because also with the Exaro jersey itself, it's not only just an opportunity for ourselves, but both of our families. We might contribute something to them because we come from two different backgrounds. So if we do this, it would be good for the family.
Stage 5 is the toughest of the event and is known as the Queen's Stage. This 99-kilometer course has 2,400 meters of climbing and takes in the foreboding Groenlandberg mountain. The Emerald Queen is rocky, rugged and unrelenting, a truly defining stage.
Hardest stage and the one with the craziest weather so far. Yeah, I think today's going to be about making sure you don't make mistakes, because in these conditions a mistake could really add a lot of time.
So today's plan, we're really keen to make some time. So I think, there's two big climbs early on. We're climbing really strong, so we're not going to exaggerate or try and be over excessive about it, but to just climb our own pace, and hopefully that's enough to ride away from the others.
After the night of heavy rain, the course is even more challenging. And in the first few kilometers, Lusa gets caught out.
The first climb, we went through a deep puddle and somebody went into the back of my bike and stepped on my shoe. And then I lost my boa, so I first tried to duct tape it, but in this rain, obviously duct tape won't last. But then we rode our consistent pace and we saw we were catching the specialized girls again. And when we passed them, they couldn't stay with us. And then we saw orange coming up and it was like a misty, very weird scenario up there. So we passed orange and we saw they were also struggling. So we're like, okay, we just keep our pace.
The orange leaders, Lill and Wakefield, let them go. Wakefield is finally having a down day. Up until now, they have been almost bulletproof for this year's Cape Epic.
That tactic went out the window very fast.
Plan B, I had to take over.
But luckily, we're quite good at deploying Plan B and Plan C at this stage. We can work with it all, and at those times you really have to just fight and stay positive and consolidate and just never give up, because tomorrow can be someone else's bad day.
Well, it was a rough day for me today. Just nursing a little injury. Yeah, it continues to be a sufferfest for me, so.
Lecourt and Lusa cross the line in just under 5 hours and 24 minutes and jump from third in the overall to second, and are now almost 14 minutes off the leaders.
I mean, I got a bit demotivated when the leaders came back, but then we just focused on us and we did our own race and our own pace, and we saw they were off and we just carried on. I was really scared on a downhill, but yeah, I survived. So yeah, I mean, anything can happen. There's still two hard days, and yeah, super stoked to be hopefully second GC, and then we'll see.
Stage 6 is entirely contained by the Lawrenceford Wine Estate. It doesn't mean to say it's easy. It has a sawtooth profile, which means there is no respite. It's constantly up and down. This, combined with the continued wet conditions and heavy legs, today requires full concentration.
7 of the 10 days leading up to Epic, I had 3 surgeries and stents from my kidneys into my bladder. So I carried on training, but it was really sore. It's like, it's just pain. Anyway, I asked Candice, I knew she didn't have a partner, and I was like, Candice, do Epic with me, everything's sorted. Like, I think we can win this thing.
Wakefield and Lill are in a controlling position with 14 minutes in the lead. They tail Lecourt and Lusa through a small river across the track. A rock flicks into the path and there is nothing Wakefield can do. It's a massive puncture.
We all went through a ditch and it was just so unlucky that Vera just flicked a rock with the back wheel, and I wasn't going to go over the rock, and I did with my back wheel, and it just smashed my wheel completely.
The South African duo remain calm and make critical decisions. Wakefield rides on the rim to the next tech zone for 8 kilometers. 20 minutes are lost. It's catastrophic. Efficiency Infinity ensure cross the line and wait to see what damage they have done in the GC. Wakefield and Lill limp home after a tough day on the bikes, and the orange leader's jersey changes hands.
I mean, I've had the whole stage to process it. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's that moment of realizing, okay, we are too far down, like we just have to do what we can, and also just mentally, yeah, like realizing really why you do this, and yeah, like what are the really important things in life as well. And it's just a bike race.
There's never been a moment, like Candice said, of panic, but there's no point, you know, there's no point in getting frustrated or getting angry or panicking. It's just do what you can do and ride your bike.
We actually took the stage from the gun. We lead the race from the start, and we just kept our own race, and one by one people started dropping. But yeah, it's surreal. I think we never stopped going full gas until we crossed the line, because we never got one time gap. So yeah, it's clearly it's special, as you can see.
It's the first time either Lusa or Lecourt have worn the jersey, and it's theirs to lose going into the final stage. The final stage of the Absa Cape Epic, and the skies have finally cleared. It's a perfect race day with cool temperatures and almost no wind.
I think I'm a bit more nervous than any other day, to be honest, just because the main focus today is to definitely keep it super safe and not risk anything.
Traditionally, the final stage is slightly easier than the rest, but this year is a bit of a scorpion. It's another tough day with 2,400 meters of climbing. There are more than 25 minutes between first and second in the overall, but this is an incredibly prestigious stage to win in front of the crowds and media in Val de Vie. As the race unfolds, the teams drop off one by one. First, it's Gomez Villafane and Nash. They are feeling every kilometer of the last 7 days.
It was a solid week. I love racing with this woman day in and day out. You know, we came out swinging. Yeah, we just made one small mistake on stage 1 that had Katerina hurting a bit for the rest of the stages, but I'm really proud of the effort that we put.
Next, it's the turn of Wakefield and Lill to fade. They sported the jersey for the majority of the race, but have finally broken.
It's been an insane up and down week. I mean, we've had all the highs and all the lows, but you know, this is the Cape Epic.
It is down to just 2 teams, Cannondale Vas Arabe with Greete Steinburg and Monica Juliana, Calderon Martinez and the orange leaders of Lusa and Lecourt. Steinburg and Calderon Martinez have no threats from Lusa and Lecourt. They are not going to risk a crash in the final meters of this 8-day race. They cross the line to win the final stage. But it's Efficient Infinity ensure that take the overall win in 33 hours, 11 minutes and 38 seconds.
One word you can sum that up in. One word.
Untamed. We did it! Yeah, we started with a good prologue, then had a bad day, had a good day, had a bad day, and only had good days from there on.
Probably the highest. It's up there, yeah. Yeah, it's the biggest achievement for us. It's huge.
The 2023 Absa Cape Epic has been one of the most challenging courses ever and has offered significant drama over the week, with the leaders' jersey on the backs of 3 different teams, a true testament to the character of the event and quality of the field.